Welcome. This presentation is geared towards helping you maximize your success with short sales. Before we get to what we really want to do is go over the basics behind what a short sale is. Now, a short sale occurs when the proceeds of a real estate sale fall short of the balance owed by the property. So when any lien holder, whether it's a mortgage, a homeowners association, the IRS, whomever, accepts less or short of what is actually owed to them, a short sale can occur. Now, people always ask, why do lenders even consider short sales? There's several reasons. First of all, lenders aren't in the business to loan money. They're in the business to loan money. They're not in the business to own real estate. So if they were to take a property back, it weighs down their bottom line. It makes them insolvent. As they become more and more insolvent, the government comes in and shuts them down. They don't want to own real estate. They do want to lend money. Okay, again, if a lender forecloses, the value of the loan contributes to their insolvency. So what the government does is they look at banks, and when their non-performing assets, which can include and does include foreclosed properties, add up to a certain amount, the government comes in and shuts them down. So because of that, lenders don't want to shut down. They want to dispose of the assets as quickly as possible, and short sales oftentimes present a great solution for them. Foreclosures cost the lenders time and money. Depending on what state you're in, they can take upwards of 10, 12, 14, even 18 months to foreclose. Those are in typically the judicial states. They cost lenders money in that they have to keep the properties up. If they foreclose, they have to pay insurance, pay taxes, pay the upkeep of the property as well. So they'll also consider a short sale if the short sale offer is equal or greater than what a lender can expect to gain by foreclosing and selling the property. So if a short sale is presented to the lender will send out their appraiser or their BPO, broker's price opinion, their BPO agent, who is typically a real estate agent, to value the property. They'll get a value back. From that, they compare the cost of sale, which includes commissions, upkeep, insurance, taxes, etc. Once they get all of their costs and fees incorporated into a spreadsheet, the bottom line number represents the number that they can expect to get if they foreclose on the property. They compare that number to the short sale offer. If that's close or within a certain percentage, they will accept the short sale. If not, they typically counter and start negotiating. This oftentimes happens as well. If you're involved in short sales, you have probably been in a house or have seen a house or at least heard about a house that has been stripped. Homeowners will take out appliances, they'll take out plumbing, they'll take out fixtures. We walked into a house a year ago where the homeowner took the entire air conditioning system out, fireplace out, sinks out, of course all the appliances, all of the lights, all the fans, etc. This is $1 million house that homeowner stripped. So a lender doesn't want to take these kinds of homes back because they understand that they're going to have to rectify those problems, which cost them time and money in order to sell the property. Okay, so the current market, and these figures tend to change from brokerage to brokerage, but you have to ask yourself how many agents out there actually have short sale listings. So if you're an agent and you're listening to this, you have short sale listings. You also have to ask yourself, have you walked away from short sale listings? Do they take too much time because the bank tends to cut your commissions? How many agents have successfully negotiated and closed a short sale? Ask yourself that. Facts, the average broker or agent closes roughly 10% of the short sales they attempt. So if you're working on 10 short sales, you're probably only going to close maybe one. Now, this is the average broker. I know there are those out there that do very well at these, but the average will spend an extraordinary amount of time to close one deal. In fact, the average short sale takes about 50 hours to complete when you speak about all the negotiations, the document collection, the back and forth, the hanging on the phone for the for the lenders. 50 hours. So in the example we use, if you're working on 10 short sales, expect to spend 500 hours just to close one. 10 deals, average of 50 hours per short sale, that's 500 hours, and if you're only closing one of those, it's an extreme waste of time. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. You can't open up a newspaper or listen to a newscast where foreclosures, short sales, etc. aren't discussed. Now, this figure, 50% of all homes sold will be sold as a short sale. Obviously, that's going to vary from state to state, city to city. Some areas, such as Florida, the numbers are higher, 70%. Some states, they may be lower. But if you look in your MLS, I would suggest that a good number, possibly even a vast majority of the listings, are short sales. So if you're not working on short sales, you're missing at least 50% of the market. And this is as realtors. If you're not working on short sales, you're missing 50% of the market. So who are we? Professional loss mitigators. We negotiate short sales. That's what we do exclusively. The team has been negotiating short sales for over 6 years and has completed over 463 transactions. In fact, that number has gone up. So the goal is obviously to create a win for the homeowner who's going to avoid foreclosure, the lender who will liquidate their non-performing asset, and you as a realtor who will get paid your full commission without having to negotiate the short sale. You'll also help keep the homeowner out of foreclosure, which creates more referrals for you. So why do short sales? Okay, properties sell faster if they're priced properly. You know as realtors that if you have a property that is priced correctly, it will sell. A short sale enables you to do that. Seller avoids foreclosure on their credit, that's an obvious one. Now, in terms of the credit, they still will have an effect on their credit from the short sale, but it typically only lasts 18 months versus 7 years, and the effect on the credit score is typically less than what it is if it's foreclosed upon. Also, you can do a short sale because it establishes you as a solution provider. What does that mean? So instead of coming into a listing and agreeing to take a listing just because that's what you've always done, if you're able to go into that listing appointment with a solution in hand for the short sale, which involves professional negotiation, it helps you establish credibility with your seller. Seller's going to refer you to other clients, and that's obvious. A lot of realtors out there get the majority of their business from referrals. If you're able to perform for a seller, they're going to refer other sellers to you. You provide value to your buyers. So what that means is if you have buyers that are looking for short sales and a short sale has already been negotiated, instead of a short sale instead of your buying waiting on the approval for a short sale, typically that process has been cut by the fact that it is already being negotiated in process. It generates income stream in a slow market. And that's obvious. Again, if you're not working on short sales, you're probably in another line of business already. You're probably working multiple jobs. But if you do decide to work on short sales, which I really, really suggest that you do, then it will generate income in a very slow market. It helps stimulate the economy. What that means is anytime somebody buys a house, what else do? They buy furniture, they buy appliances, they buy cars, they buy a number of things. So if an individual is able to purchase a short sale, they're also going to purchase other items, which certainly does stimulate the economy. Okay, so you do have options for listing over-leveraged houses. Obviously, an over-leveraged house means it's worth less than what is owed, and you've got to incorporate closing costs and commissions, etc., into the figure. So option one is turn them down because they won't sell, and people run for the hills because they don't think an overleveraged house will sell. By itself, you're right. If a property is truly worth $800,000 and you're trying to list it for $1 million because that's what is owed, then it's probably not going to sell. So that's certainly something you can do. Now, you can list a house or price that is overpriced to cover all payoffs and closing costs. So if they owe $1 million and you list it for $1.1 million and you get $1.1 million offer, then there might be a chance that you can cover all of the debts, liens, closing costs, and commissions owed. But if that same house is only worth $800,000, you're wasting a lot of people's time, including yourself. So you can listen to short sales, do the short sale negotiations yourself, and frankly waste your time. What we spoke about before is the average short sale takes about 50 hours to complete from beginning to end. So if you're negotiating a short sale, you're paying somebody else to do that for you, you're wasting time and money. And again, typically the average realtor or broker, if they're doing it themselves, are only completing about 10% of the short sales they work on. Or you could outsource your short sale negotiations to the experts and create extra income without the extra work. So let's just say that you're a realtor and you want to do, or you are doing, the short sale negotiations currently. This is what you need to know, some of what you need to know in order to be effective. You need to know how to get your short sale assigned to mitigator immediately. Time is money. As you're negotiating and taking time, your sellers are getting closer and closer to foreclosure. You have to know what a bank mitigator looks for in a short sale package and why they'll put it at the top of the pile versus the bottom. So what will they look for to get a short sale in and approved? How do you negotiate with lenders depending on what type of loan your seller has? How does the 1099 and IRS Form 982 work together? 1099 is a cancellation of debt. IRS Form 982 is a way to deal with 1099s. You really need to know how that works. So how do you negotiate Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, USDA, conventional mortgage, private mortgages, private mortgages with private mortgage insurance, et cetera, et cetera? How do you negotiate all those correctly? How do you get junior lenders and lien holders and the IRS liens released from properties? You have to know this. How do you get the deal done when a lender wants your seller to sign a prom note or a deficiency judgment? Goes on and on. How to get the bank to approve every file by getting the BPO value of the property where they need to see it. So how do you get that done? How do you present the short sale package to the bank so they'll not only review it but approve it fast? And this is so important. So many people get caught up with submitting 50%, 60%, 75%, even 90% of what the bank is looking for. The banks are working on so many short sale now. When they get those types of packages coming in, they're going to put them at the bottom of the pile. They could possibly never resurface. Who knows? You've got to learn that. How do you structure the deal when the lender says that all junior lien holders can get is $1,000 or $2,500? And that's very typical. How do you do that? If you don't know this information, 90% of your deals will be declined. And you're going to waste your time. You're also going to waste your seller's time. So, what if we could guarantee your commissions on short sale transactions upon closing? There's one exception to that. Here's the exception. Because we're making our money buying and selling property, the only exception where we aren't going to guarantee your commission is if we have to remove ourselves from the deal. What does that mean? So we're trying to buy a house for $100,000 and sell it for $120,000. Just using a example. So we're trying to buy for $100,000, sell for $120,000. If the lender doesn't approve our offer of $100,000, but they do approve an offer of $120,000, and there's a willing and ready